Let us take a moment to check on something we care about a lot around here. You should. Brian Jodice is the National Press Secretary of the American Federation for Children. No better name, the American Federation for Children, doing things for children. How can you oppose that? And in fact, I often wonder, how in the world can anybody oppose school choice? It's about making schools better. It's about freedom of choice. Brian is with us for a quick update. Welcome, sir. How are you doing, Brian? Good Wednesday morning.
Hey, Mark. Great to be with you this morning.
Give me a little lay of the land on how I perceive that school choice, it's been a long slog, that state after state is realizing the wisdom, and you don't have to bag on or go really coldly negative on public schools. I'm a product of the public schools of Prince George's County, Maryland. I turned out okay. All around me are public schools that are trying to do a good job. Some do, some don't. So yet against that backdrop, I perceive that school choice is very much an idea whose time has come, and that there are advances being made. Am I right?
No, you are right, and it really is an incredible time for this movement because we've just seen so much momentum across the country. We're talking about 32 states plus the District of Columbia that now have some sort of school choice program, nearly 20 of those with sort of universal eligibility, which means more families across the country are unlocked more than ever before to find that learning environment that best meets their individual child's needs. And that's what this is all about, Mark. We've talked about this before. I know you believe this as well. It's finding that place that's going to best meet the needs of that child. And what we're able to do now through these state school choice programs, what was unlocked in the One Big Beautiful Bill, and this education freedom tax credit that's coming online in 2027. We've just seen school choice across America like never before. We're seeing states expand it. We're seeing incredible demand across states with school choice programs, where we even have these robust wait lists. So this idea that funding students over systems is here to stay, and it's something that the American people embrace.
Where does the pushback come from? I know they're the educrat, a wonderful educational bureaucrat hybrid term. What's the competing argument? What are you up against as you try to convince a country of the benefits of school choice?
Yeah, call them educrats, call them big schooling teachers unions. This elite class that really wants to keep, education in a box and really control all the power of it. That's what it's ultimately about. When you look at the way in which we ought to shape education across America, it should be centered towards that end user, which is the student. What can we do to get that student in the learning environment that best meets their needs? How can we ensure that those resources ultimately reach that classroom? We've got far too many with far too much power and, candidly, far too many resources in their coffers. I mean, teachers unions running around the country to the tune of $3 billion with a B dollars a year in combined resources. I mean, that's a lot to combat, especially when your goal is just to have all the power. They've said it before. We want the power. And so you've seen that play out. You're seeing it play out in classrooms across the country. It's why more and more families are exploring what these educational options look like, because we got to get back to the kid, and we've got to return education to the states. We've got to return this education decision-making process back to the kid as close as possible. But as you said it, you kind of nailed it. That educrat class, that big schooling union class, they don't like it. That's where the opposition comes from.
And one of the things they say is that that if school choice, if you immerse yourself in the supposed positives of school choice, what will happen is that public schools as an institution will somehow die on the vine. I don't believe that, but you probably have a better answer as to why that's a scare tactic.
Yeah, it's 100% a scare tactic because we've seen the contrary play out. We've seen where school choice programs have been created and have been given the resources to thrive. Public schools around them continue to thrive as well. In fact, recent research from Dr. Patrick Raff at the American Federation for Children shows us that the longer school choice programs are there, the entire education landscape improves. So this really is a rising tide for all boats. I mean, and that's the incredible part about this. And it's not some, resources going here versus resources going there. It's about prioritizing resources to follow the kids. Let them and their families decide what's going to be the best fit for them. But it really does help the entire landscape because it's about creating some competition in the marketplace. It's about creating options for families. Everybody likes that. It polls well across the country, and the results show that kids do better. Even in Ohio, we saw that kids that were on the school choice program outperformed their peers, but even those kids were able to come up as well. So it really the data shows that it's not just good policy, but also it's just great for families. Right. It's great politically. It polls well across the country. Everybody should get on board with this.
A good final thing just occurred to me, because I know that listening right now to speaking of big popular movements, what should the average homeschool family think about this? Is this just a sphere they're not in? Because I think a rising tide lifts all the boats. A stronger country is made stronger by just good educational ideas, no matter what. But where do homeschool families play into this?
Well, it's incredible, and you've seen quite a movement for homeschool families. Look, we've always had strong homeschools across the country, but really I think the pandemic helped unlock that for a lot of families that decided that this could be the best option for them. We see state programs that can assist homeschool families get access to some resources for some of the curriculum needs or technology needs, so that's great, and you're able to unlock the ability for families to get access to that, to then again do what they want to be able to do to help their kids learn in the best environment possible. I got to tell you, Mark, today it's tax day, right? A day where a lot of folks are paying attention to what happens with their taxes. A year from today, we stand poised to welcome in this education freedom tax credit, where 29 states as of today have said yes to opting into this, where when you donate $1,700 to a scholarship granting organization, you'll be able to get that directly off your income taxes in a year, right off your federal tax bill. Pretty amazing. That's going to help unlock school choice in all 50 states in the country, assuming those governors do the right thing and opt in. And so there's a large push for that. And so that's going to help, right, school choice across the country. Homeschool families, private school families, even can help public school kids get access to things like extra tutoring. So can really unlock and supercharge school choice across the country.
The website is federationforchildren.org, Federation for Children. Brian Jodice, thank you, sir. Always great to have you. Appreciate it. And keep the good fight going. Thanks so much.
You got it, Mark. Thanks.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.